Midnight in Welkom. A hospital corridor stretches into darkness. Paint peels from the walls. Linoleum curls at the edges. And if you stand here long enough, you might hear it. A faint squeak, like rubber wheels turning on an empty floor. But there are no patients anymore. No nurses rushing between the wards. No doctors calling for oxygen. This is the story of Welkom Hospital. Welcome back to 14th Avenue Haunting. Today we are diving into Welkom Hospital, Kempton Park Hospital's sister, and we will be looking at the history and the hauntings of this hospital. To be honest, I had no idea that this hospital even existed. I only found out about it when I got a comment that asked for it. But here we are, and it's quite interesting how they are quite the same as Kempton Park Hospital, which does beg the question, is an abandoned hospital just automatically assumed to be haunted? Or is it my fan favorite and my personal opinion that all hospitals carry paranormal weight? But before we get into that, just a disclaimer, 14th Avenue Haunting does not claim that any of the ghost stories in my video as absolute fact. These are based off of local law, news articles, and personal accounts and are intended for entertainment purposes only. Is Welkom Hospital haunted? That's for you to decide. And if you are into ghost stories, true crime, tragic events, and history, this is the channel for you. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm here for you as often as I can. On Tuesdays, we do a deep dive into South African paranormal stories. On Thursdays, we dip into international hauntings. And on Sundays, we do tragic events and dark history. But without further ado, let's jump into the history and the haunting of Welkom Hospital. Welkom was officially proclaimed a town in 1947. York. Which is quite later than most towns. And this was due to gold being discovered. And within a few years, it became one of the most successful gold fields in the world. And mining towns do not grow slowly. They explode. Mines opened. Workers arrived from all over South Africa and neighboring countries. Families followed. And with urgent growth comes urgent needs. Mine accidents, machinery injuries, underground collapses, silica dust exposure, tuberculosis, maternity needs, industrial trauma. At this point, a hospital was not optional. It was essential infrastructure. While public archives do not establish the exact year of the opening of this hospital, historical context suggests that the Welkom Hospital was opened during the 1950s, when population growth demanded a public healthcare system. It was built for a boom town, and the goldfields shaped everything inside it. Welkom Hospital opened its doors. Welkom Hospital did not open during a neutral political era. It was opened during apartheid. From 1948 to 1994, South Africa's healthcare system was shaped by racial segregation. Laws under the apartheid government, hospitals across the country were structured under policies that segregated patients, allocated funding unequally, distributed resources unevenly, and in mining towns like Welkom, that was especially visible. White workers and their families had better resources to healthcare. And black mine workers were often treated in separate facilities. And it is believed that Welkom Hospital was, at that time, mostly catering to white patients. However, that still does mean that Welkom Hospital saved lives, treated patients, medicine was practiced, babies were delivered, surgeries were performed, but the system itself was unequal. However, after 1994, South Africa entered a new political era. Healthcare systems were reassessed nationwide. Integration, restructuring, and assessment and modernization of infrastructure became priorities. As facilities aged, many were undergraded, replaced, or consolidated. Eventually, in the case of Welkom Hospital, services were moved to the new and improved Bongani Regional Hospital. There was no evidence of a catastrophic shutdown. It appears to have simply been a gradual relocation. It did not close with an explosion or conspiracy. It closed with paperwork, with files transferred, wards emptied, and beds removed. And then one day, it was quiet. After closure, security became inconsistent, maintenance stopped, vandals broke windows, and the building began to decay. An abandoned hospital holds a different energy than abandoned malls or factories. They hold memories differently. Operating theatres, wards, corridors, where families once waited for news. Silence feels heavier in places that were built for urgency. But Welkom Hospital was not unique. Its trajectory mirrors that of Kempton Park Hospital. Kempton Park Hospital opened in the 1970s. It closed in December of 1996. It has been left abandoned for decades and is South Africa's most famous ghost hospital. Both buildings share a pattern. Public hospitals, political transition era, both closed due to restructuring, both abandoned, both decayed, and both have haunted claims. At Welkom Hospital, there are claims that would leave anyone with chills running down their spine. It is said that if you stand inside the abandoned Welkom Hospital between 12 and 4 a.m. in the morning, the chances of seeing objects moving by themselves are extremely high. The sound of a wheelchair rolling on linoleum floors, squeaking behind you. There are also reports that if you stand in some of the wards, you are met with disembodied screams so loud that it leaves you running into the night. And the most common apparitions reported? The ghosts of nurses and patients suddenly appearing at the end of hallways, only to disappear when approached. My first question would be, who approaches these apparitions? If you see a nurse standing at the edge or the end of an abandoned hospital, what in your brain tells you, let me go look what that lady wants? Of course you know that it is impossible for an actual nurse to be present in an abandoned hospital. So me personally, I would be running the opposite direction. Bye. See you later, ghost nurse. I know what you are. I'm not interested. But obviously, jokes aside, because I do love the paranormal, but I just want to know why it's so common that they disappear as they're being approached. Who's approaching them? Please tell me in the comments. I want to know. And apart from this apparitions that are being reported, the very common footsteps, doors slamming in wards, babies crying are also reported at Welkom Hospital. But Welkom Hospital is not officially haunted. It is not as commonly visited as Kempton Park Hospital. Files may be strewn around. Some of the medical equipment may have stayed behind. But it is said it's not the only thing that stayed behind. Former patients and staff have also. But Welkom Hospital is a monument to the gold rush, a reminder of apartheid era inequality, a witness to democratic transition, and a symbol of infrastructure left behind. And when thousands of lives pass through a building, when pain, birth, trauma, and hope fills its rooms, silence does not feel empty. It feels heavy. Maybe what people are hearing isn't ghosts. Maybe it's history echoing. And sometimes that history squeaks like a wheelchair on empty floors. And that's it. That's my entire video on Welkom Hospital. There isn't a lot of information available on this hospital. It's not like Kempton Park Hospital where there is a lot of details and a lot of history and resources to go off of. But it's the sister haunted hospital of Kempton Park Hospital. And I would love to go there. I am going to tell you that please do not visit this hospital. It is entirely illegal to go into this hospital. There is security there, and you will be arrested if caught. Saying that, I would love to get access to this location, legally, I might add. But if you have been to this hospital, please share your stories, please share your photos. I would love to see them. You can send them to 14th Avenue Haunting at gmail.com, and I would gladly share them on my channels and on my socials. I've been to Kempton Park Hospital 3 times by now, and I would love to go to Welkom Hospital as well, maybe one day. But if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and if you would like early access to my videos, please consider becoming a member of 14th Avenue Haunting. Please let me know what you would like me to cover next, and may you have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Have a spooky day.